Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would talk to you guys about my plans for Camp Nano. So basically everyone's been talking about this and I was like, maybe I should participate because in April I'm not as busy as I usually am in November work-wise, and therefore I could actually participate this year. And also this is the first time ever that I generally have like a group of writer friends that I interact with on a daily basis on a Discord. So I do feel like more confident that I would be able to participate and not give up after 2 days. Because for me, that is one of the determining factors in whether I do things or not. So very quickly, what is Camp Nano? So NaNoWriMo is something that stands for National Novel Writing Month, and it happens every year in November. And every writer who's ever written a single word probably knows about them at this point. They're very, very big, and basically they're an online event where people share their goal for a manuscript, and normally the main idea is to write 50,000 words in the month of November. So 50k in 1 month. The event has become very big, and I guess they decided to do a secondary event. I don't know when this started. I have no idea because this is the first year that I'm actually considering participating properly. But basically they decided to do a secondary event called Camp Nano, which is a similar idea, but happening in April, and you also don't have to write 50,000 words. Not that you have to in November either, like if you want to set up a different goal, but I guess it's a little bit more normalized or sanctioned or whatever, that you can do pretty much whatever you want in April. The goal is more to achieve what you've set up. So you decide on a goal. You can say, I want to write 30k, or you could say, I want to edit my whole novel, or whatever it is that you want to do. Whatever the writing dreams that you have and want to achieve, you can set them as a goal in April, and that becomes your goal for Camp Nano. So since I recently participated in the WWW weekend, which stands for Worldwide Write-a-thon Weekend, which was a 2 days event, obviously a weekend event, where people decided to do a lot of writing sprints, and a lot of author tubers were on stream in order to help people get through those writing sprints. And it was really, really fun and such a nice community-based event. You really felt the aspect of the community in there. So I enjoyed myself greatly. So I thought, first of all, I have writing that I've started from that event that I could continue on with for Camp Nano. And second, it was so much fun that if this is the type of event that Camp Nano is promising to be, then I want in for sure. So for this Camp Nano, I really want to use my brand new project called currently Project Rose. It's just named after my main character, whose name is, you guessed it, Rose. This project is one that I started couple of weeks ago during this Worldwide Write-a-thon weekend, based off a flash fiction piece that I was writing in February, but also further than that, based around a story idea that I had a very, very long time ago. Like, this is one of the ones that I consider my teenager ideas, and I'm not even sure exactly when I came up with it and how it has survived this long, but I still enjoy it to this day. So that's the one I want to go with. So when I was a teenager, I was very influenced, and I still am to this day, by Buffy and further than that, by Angel. I really enjoyed the Angel TV show that came as a spin-off of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, especially the last couple of seasons. I can't remember exactly when, if it's just the last season or if it was more than that, but there's a moment where Angel and his own ragtag team of crime fighters kind of take over this evil corporation called Wolfram and Hart, and it's basically lawyers for evil creatures.
If you don't kill, we won't kill you.
That's right. No more employee sacrifices. And Wolfram and Hart, you're part of a family now.
And they take over and try to make it good. And it leads to so many funny episodes, and Angel basically becomes the CEO, and it becomes like this amazing mix of supernatural elements and corporation life and corporate identity and things. You have like an episode where Harmony is hired, but all the vampires have to be screened for not drinking live human blood and not killing anyone or something like that. And she wakes up one morning and there's a dead body in her bed or something, and she thinks that she killed the guy. So she panics and she tries, the whole episode is surrounding her and her POV, and it's fucking hilarious. And spoiler alert, it turns out that someone is obviously trying to frame her, and she decides to kill the person in the middle of a meeting that they're having with demons, and the demons consider that this is the blood sacrifice they needed to conclude the meeting, so they're happy, and before that they weren't happy, so Angel is happy. So yeah, the whole episode is bonkers, the whole series is bonkers, and I love it. So that is kind of my main inspiration for this. My main character is named Rose Sorensen, and I pictured her as being someone who is adopted and doesn't realize that she may have some supernatural blood in her and come from a different family than a human family, and she lives a normal human life. I mentioned it in my WWW vlog, but basically I gravitate a lot towards this type of stories, not to psychoanalyze myself, but it probably comes from the fact that I am half French, half Belgian, and wherever I have lived, I've always been from the other country. So whenever I lived in Belgium, they would think that I was French, that my accent was more French, that I said things that sounded more French, and I was other. And then when I lived in France at some point, they would always think that I was Belgian, that my accent sounded Belgian, that everything I was saying had Belgian expressions. And again, I was other. And then I moved to the UK and I could be whatever I wanted, and no one batted an eyelash and told me otherwise. And suddenly I belonged by not belonging. So there's this kind of story that I just gravitate towards because I think it's kind of in my nature based on my own past, except I love supernatural shit, so that is the added element here. Add a sprinkle of magic to my life story, and that is the story that I want to write. First of all, definitely an adult novel. I see this main character as being fully grown adult. I also want to base it in London, and I want to utilize the kind of horrors that I have lived myself as a corporate employee and put them in the story, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to do that. So my main character, Rose, I want to truly give her a lot of things that are going to be shit to start with, because I want her to feel this sense of not belonging anywhere. So I've given her such a shitty friend group, I've given her a shitty family, a shitty job she doesn't like, as a receptionist down on the ground floor of a huge tower where this main company called Lockhart and Beckett, which I know may be a little bit too close to Wolfram and Hart, but in my head right now this works because Lockhart has also two words in it, kind of how Wolfram had two words in it, and it makes sense. And then Beckett because the last name can mean, I think one of the meanings of it is like beehive and bee something, and the main symbol and logo of the company is going to be a bee. So the Beckett is staying for sure, the Lockhart may not because it doesn't make as much sense, but it is a temporary name. So she works there as a receptionist, and everyone who works there is completely normal except the people who go up past the 13th floor. And on the 12th floor is where people have to swap between two sets of lifts. And in order to get up to the upper levels above the 12th, they need a special key to make the other set of lifts function. And a lot of these people are regarded as like, oh my god, everyone there is so handsome, and everyone there is a little bit weird, a little bit strange, and basically it's where they're doing the supernatural work. So an incident happens in Rose's life at some point at work, which is gonna make her be offered a job on the upper floors, and she's suddenly gonna discover this whole world that exists and that she may actually belong to. So my goal for Camp Nano is to write 40,000 words. I may put it down at some point if I am noticing that I don't write as much as I want to. Especially since April is kind of the month where people start going out again and go to drink on terraces and beer gardens and stuff. And I'm going to want to do all that. So maybe I won't write as much as I'm thinking. But right now, my goal is going to be set up as 40k because I have written 10,000 words already. So I wrote about 7k during the Worldwide Write-a-thon weekend. And I finished the overall 10k that I wanted to write during that weekend during this week. And I added another 3k during this weekend that just passed. So I am now at a total of 10,000 words. And I feel like if I write 40,000 words, then I'll have what most people have after NaNoWriMo in November. I will have 50k. And it might not be my novel finished because I don't really write, I don't underwrite, I tend to probably overwrite actually. So I'm unlikely to have finished off a novel in 50k. And in my head, I think it's going to be more like 80k is what I'm aiming for. So I will still have 30k to finish it off, and that might be my goal for like June, July or something. And then my secondary goal is going to be probably a lot of research because I have a lot of ideas for supernatural creatures and characters and job titles and roles and things like that within this company. So I have already done quite a bit and I need to do more, I think, on some secondary characters because I have like a main character arc and I have a villain arc. I just don't have the other characters' arcs yet. And I want to do proper work on them. So I need to do that for the love interest because I do have one. There's also 2 other people that are going to be quite important because Rose is basically going to join a team, kind of like in most crime shows. And I kind of want to create these 2 other characters that are going to be part of that team with Rose and with that guy. So I want to create for all 3 missing characters their character arc because they're going to be important still. And even though they're not going to be the main character, I still want to make sure that everything makes sense as I write it. So these are my secondary goals. There's also a lot of lore that is involved in this. For instance, obviously Rose, as I said, will find out at some point that she is herself supernatural in some ways, and so I wanted to make sure that I had created a bit more of an idea of what she is and what her powers could be without, making her into a Mary Sue. So I've already done a little bit of work on that, and I want to make sure that I do the same amount of work for the other creatures that are going to be prominent in the story. And then there's also a bunch of other side things that can be just fun, but I also consider them to be important when it comes to research and lore and all that. Like, for instance, when she is taken to training for the very first time, it's like an instructional video, and I very much took inspiration from Loki. I totally imagined this kind of high-end corporation having a very old 1920s type of instructional video with a little cartoonish character, very much like Miss Minutes, or a little bit like the Vault Boy in the Fallout games. So I imagined it to be a little bee, and I was doing some image research of what it would look like, and I think I might even design it at some point. I'm probably going to do that. I don't know if I'm going to do that during April, but these are my other side goals that I think are as important as the words that I want to write. So if I'm achieving a lot of these other things, I may count them as part of my word count and reduce the word count that I'm going to be doing to like say 30k instead of 40k, just because I don't want to overwhelm myself and my mental health remains pretty important to me. So the last thing that I want to talk about is setting up kind of a tracking system. And then the last thing that I'm going to be doing is also obviously putting the actual goal and setting it up in the website for Camp Nano. Sign in, that is me signing in. Join Camp NaNoWriMo. As you can see, I have like nothing because I've never participated in anything. Let's join it. What is the name of your project? Project Rose. What is the project status? In progress. What type of project is this? It is a novel. Just checking that that's the only option that it works with. Yeah, it is a novel. It is associated with a NaNoWriMo event, which is Camp Nano April 2022. On to your goal. My goal is going to be writing, that is correct, and I'm going to set it up as 40,000. And on to details. Cool. What is the genre? It's fantasy, but more like horror supernatural. So I'm gonna keep it as that. Let's just save it as is for now. Cool. That's it. That's my goal. It's been set up. I'm really, really excited for this. So the second thing I want to do is I'm using this video as a reference by Natalie Locke, which is called Millworthy, How to Create Excel Spreadsheet Tracker, because although this is not going to be a Millworthy thing, it's literally just Camp Nano. I have no idea how to set up my tracker whatsoever, and I was recommended this video really recently, and I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. I'm just going to follow what she's doing and adapt it. And I need to set it up, I think, in a Google Sheet. That would be the best. Let's set up a new blank one, I guess. Cool. So the way she's setting it up is month total goal difference. So I'm gonna do day total goal difference. Okay, so then she's got it set up as all the month listed and then grand total. So I guess I'm gonna set those up as 1st of April until the 30th of April. Sum of all of these, and close it, and done. Cool. So the goal that I have is to write 40,000 words and have 30 days. So 40,000 divided by 30 is 133. Okay, let's just put 133. Let's not go crazy. 1,030. Oh my god, 1,333. I can't speak anymore. So copy. Oh yeah, and paste. And I guess I am missing 10 words. So let's say on my first day, I'm gonna add 10 words. Yeah, and that's 40,000. Cool. This minus this equals minus 40,000. That works. So I don't think that this is right. Let's delete this. Okay, I much prefer this, and I like the color scale, and I can actually just set it up so that it starts with red. So it starts with red, and then it becomes yellow, and then becomes green. I think I need to add something like this. A little bit more orange. Like this is the right red for me. Yes, that is it. Perfect. Perfection. Cool. And then do I want this to be darker? No, I liked this. Okay. Done. This works. So say that this is how much I've written, it will work. So if I say like 2,000, then this becomes lighter. Yes, that's all I needed to do. Okay, oh my god, watch me figure this shit out. Project Rose, Camp NaNo, Project Rose, tracker. Save. Excellent. I've set up my tracker as best as I can. I'm probably gonna make it pretty, and I will show it to you guys during actual Camp Nano, because I don't know that I'm gonna do this right now. But yeah, that's it. Just to finish off, I've just set up the tracker. At least it seems to be working. I am gonna make it pretty a little bit later because I can't be arsed to do this right now, and I will show it to you guys when it's finished during the actual beginning of Camp Nano, so on the 1st of April or whenever I film that. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this little prepping video. I've enjoyed it myself, just to feel a bit more ready for it, and I'm really excited now. So I hope you liked it. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment down below. I always try to respond. Consider subscribing to my channel, ring that bell, all that jazz, and I will see you guys in the next one.